Hello and welcome to Newsroom series today. I'm Olumide Macaulay. Thank you for joining us. Our focus is the southwest regions of the country. But first, our top stories. And we begin with an early morning fire incident that destroyed the fuel station located at the Katsina State Government House in Katsina State. The government is yet to issue any statement on the occurrence, and the cause of the fire is yet to be ascertained. We understand that investigations will be ongoing. Meanwhile, reports indicate the fire started at about 6 a.m. and was later extinguished by firefighters who rushed to the scene. Now, at least 10 maritime travelers have been feared kidnapped by sea pirates along the Bonny-Port Harcourt waterway. Those details are still sketchy. We gather the incident which occurred in the early hours of Monday today is believed to involve 10 persons traveling between Bonny and Port Harcourt. Confirmed the incident via telephone, the district chairman, Maritime Workers Union of Nigeria, Rivers State District, Israel Waibo, he said the people indeed were kidnapped in the morning coming from Bonny to Port Harcourt, and they had reported to the security agencies concerning the incident. When contacted, the police public relations officer said that they were aware that 10 people were indeed kidnapped, but that the Commissioner of Police, Olatunji Disu, had mandated the Deputy Commissioner of Police in charge of operations, DSP Olugbenga Adepoju, and the DPOs in that area to make sure the victims regain their freedom as quickly as possible. The High Court in Abuja has fixed September the 11th for trial and ruling on bail application for organizers of the End Bad Governance protests arraigned this morning. The 10 persons who were arraigned before Justice Emeka Wite of the Federal High Court are Michael Adaramoye, also known as Lenin, Adeyemi Abayomi, Suleiman Yakubu, Akwaoluwa Simon, and Angel Innocent. Others are Buhari Lawal, Musio Sadiq, Bashir Bello, Nuruddin Kamis, and Abdul Salam Zubairu. The defendants, who all pleaded not guilty, were arraigned on a 6-count charge of alleged treason, intent to destabilize Nigeria, conspiracy to commit felony, and inciting to mutiny, which is an offense punishable under Section 97 of the Penal Code. The defendants are equally accused of levying war against the state in order to intimidate the president by attacking and injuring police officers and burning police stations, High Complex, NCC Complex, Kanu Print and Press, Government House, Kanu, and several other buildings. Now, the fuel scarcity continues to linger in Lagos State as queues get longer at some fuel stations in the metropolis. The price of the product also varies from one petrol station to another, ranging between 850 naira to 1,000 naira per litre, where that's available in the first place. Now, this situation is coming on the heels of the NNPC Limited admitting its indebtedness to petrol suppliers, which had led to persisting fuel scarcity across the country. The rector of the Federal Polytechnic Ogun State, Dr. Michael Akinde, has appealed to the federal government to commit sufficient resources towards the research, innovations, and development to provide for leverage for innovative minds amongst the teeming youth for national development. He made the call when the leadership of the Federal Polytechnic Ilaro Governing Council and the National Automotive Design and Development Council visited the electric and solar-powered tricycle built at the institution's Innovation Center. The Federal Polytechnic is said to be the first institution to produce this brand of tricycle, built and assembled at the institution's Innovation Center.
This tricycle, built and assembled at the Innovation Center of the Federal Polytechnic Ilaro, runs on electricity and solar power with a capacity of about 75 kilometers per hour. This development is part of the clarion call of the federal government to shift attention from premium motor spirit, also known as petrol, to a cleaner and a more environmental friendly initiative. taken the visiting chairman of a governing council of the institution and the representative of the National Automotive Design and Development Council round the 3-year-old Innovation Center, the director said about 95% of the raw materials for the tricycle were sourced locally.
Every other part, apart from the electric motors, they are designed abroad. The other parts, we know we are sort of machineries, but with the help of the rector, we have set up the assembly plant, and I can tell you that even in this year's budget, provisions to get more ingredients so that we can have our seamless, so that we don't need to go out to go and do anything else and everything will be perfect.
The rector of the Polytechnic, Dr. Michaela Konde, who promised the establishment of a center, however, called for more investment in innovation, research and development to stimulate economic recovery, growth and development.
With support from government or from even private organization like we will do better, because it's pains to the marrow when we begin to import a lot of things that we can produce locally. How do we not have pressure on the exchange rate when we rely on everything outside the country? So we are also pleading, requesting whatever support, whatever collaboration, we will join hands with you to solve a lot of problems. We can do it, I want to assure you.
The initiative is commended, and the call for support from different sectors across the country, with a call on the federal government to finish up with raw materials fabrication centers.
Based on the assessment of the representative of the Automotive Council, he said he's quite impressed with the way the Polytechnic has transformed virtually all the raw materials at their disposal to produce this machine. My advice, as always, is that we need federal government assistance specifically to this Polytechnic, so that they can expand the scope of this machine to accommodate, as I've said, 2 or 3 people.
The school can approach other manufacturers, big players in the industry. They can also assist. But the most important thing is that all of us will continue to pressure the government to finish up so many raw material producing companies that they have started, because therein lies the solution to bringing down the cost of vehicles generally.
High point of the event included a test ride by the chairman of the governing council of the institution, who used a motorcycle to tour the institution.
Soccer has come the way of residents of Alagbole, Ajuwon, Akute, Ajuwon in Ifa local government area of Ogun State, as the state government begins the reconstruction of the 4-kilometer roads expected to be delivered in the next 6 months. It will be recalled that the governor gave the green light for the reconstruction of the roads when he inspected them in company of members of the State Executive Council. Now, the roads have remained impassable for many years, with a negative effect on socioeconomic activities. This has led to agitation by the residents who demand a fair deal to make life easier for them. The project manager says the project, which is in 2 phases, is expected to be completed in 6 months. The resident commends the governor, Dr. Abiodun, for living up to expectation. Now, those areas, Alagbole, Ajuwon, and Akute, are densely populated areas in Ifa local government area, and the state government describes the project as a significant step towards improving infrastructure, addressing long-standing issues faced by residents, and enhancing connectivity within the community. Members of the Ogun State chapter of the Nigerian Medical Association have resumed duty today, following the suspension of their industrial action over the consolidated medical salary structure, which stretched for 4 weeks. The doctors say their decision is in consideration of the hardship faced by the public while the warning strike was in place, and to allow for peaceful dialogue and deliberation with the state government. Members of the association say they are actively pursuing the regularization of wage parity between Ogun State healthcare institutions and their federal counterparts, as well as advocating for the overall welfare of its members.
After extensive discussion and deliberation, the Congress resolved as follows: that to suspend the ongoing strike action for 4 weeks to allow for peaceful dialogue and deliberation with government and considering the hardship faced by the public. Members are to resume duty 8 a.m. on Monday, 2nd September 2024. The government of Ogun State is urged to meet the association's demand during this 4-week suspension to avert further industrial disharmony. The association will reconvene on 30th of September 2024 to review the situation, and industrial harmony cannot be guaranteed if demands remain unmet. Long live Nigeria Medical Association, long live Ogun State, long live Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Now, the Oyo State government says it's committed to infusing life into trade and commerce by reviving the market structure to promote trade in rural and urban centers across the state. The acting governor, Mr. Bayo Lawal, stated this at the commissioning of an ultra-modern market at the Ogbomoso South Local Government area of the state. He added that the administration of Governor Seyi Makinde will rejuvenate the market system in urban and rural communities with modern facilities to encourage ease of doing business for traders of different categories. He noted that this move is part of the administration's determination to support and promote development, thereby making life more meaningful for the residents.
It's another time to roll out the drums for residents of Oyo State. This time, traders in the Ogbomoso South Local Government area of the state are the focus of attention. The acting governor, Mr. Bayo Lawal, leads a government delegation to the city of Ogbomoso to inaugurate the new Kajola ultra-modern market.
It's just a commissioning, but the take-home for government is that in Omitutu 1.0, we did something like this in Mania, if you recall, and then Akeson Market, when it got burnt, we rebuilt it, which cost us several millions of naira. So under Omitutu 2.0, this is the first of its kind, commissioning ultra-modern market. And you know that our environment is replete with archaic market in several towns across, not only in Oyo State, in Nigeria. So we are trying to rejuvenate the market system in Oyo State.
Government officials at the event asked the community in which the Kajola market is situated to take ownership and maintain it. The chairman of Ogbomoso South Local Government, Honorable Timothy Oyedokun, says it's a promise kept to improve livelihoods within the state. He adds that more shops will still be added and assures that the shops will be allocated to the first occupants of the space whose shops were demolished to pave the way for construction of the project.
History has been made today because we have promised the people that we're going to give them dividends of democracy, and this sure is one of it. And I'm proud that we have a governor that listens, and because the governor listens, this project was able to be a reality. So I'm very happy and delighted today. From the first time we started this one, we labeled it Phase 1 because we knew that we had more land, and the number of shops that we built now would definitely not be enough. So we are still going to do more. Well, we'll be very fair. First of all, while we were building this, we had to dismantle and destroy some few shops of people that they started building. So our intention is first to take care of those people and then make it open for people to bid for the shops and be able to get it. It's not going to be on who do you know. It's going to be for those who truly deserve it. They have 120 lock-up shops and then 84 open shop stores.
Also in his goodwill message, Onkweto of Ijeri Kingdom, His Royal Majesty Sunday Oyediro appreciates Governor Makinde for fulfilling his promise to build an ultra-modern market. He implores sons and daughters of Ogbomoso land to use their resources and connections to facilitate developmental projects for the town's progress.
We quite appreciate what the governor did for us. And my appeal to my people is that while we are still working to get more, we should please try and maintain the one given to us so that the person that approved it for us will be encouraged to do more for us before the expiration of his tenure. even will be able to keep the relationship after he must have left office. Because God has placed him in a position today that we can count him among the who is who in Oyo State.
The Kajala market, which is constructed within 5 months, has a total of 120 lock-up shops, 84 open shops, an abattoir, administrative blocks, and sanitary facilities. Bukola Oriowo, Channels Television News.
You're watching Newsroom series with the Southwest region as our focus. Coming up, we'll stay on Oyo State. When we come back, for those who have buildings whose documents have not been regularized, there is a 60-day window being offered by the state government for them to get their papers in order. That's when we come back. Please stay with us. Welcome back. The Oyo State government has commenced a 60-day online building permit where there's a grace window aimed at regularizing buildings that were constructed without proper government approval. The program will also regularize those in violation of building regulations in the state and process new arrivals within the 60-day window. The Commissioner for Lands, Housing and Urban Development, Mr. Williams Akin Fumilayo, stated this in Ibadan, the state capital, at a press conference. He says the scheme is in line with Governor Seyi Makinde's transformation and sustainable development agenda designed to enable the government to improve urban planning and enhance security and safety of lives and properties within the state. He also added that the government has also approved that property owners can now get or regularize their building permits within the 60-day period, at a 20% discounted rate. The application process has begun online across the 33 local government areas, at the end of which a certificate will be issued to those who take advantage of the opportunity. Properties built on the road within pipeline setbacks, properties under court, financial crimes matters will not be granted that opportunity.
This scheme, which is majorly an online process, will enable property owners to process their permit without falling victim of touts and middlemen, and also have the guarantee of getting an authentic permit which will prevent any further interference by the authority as regards their development, as long as they adhere to the provisions of the approval. This process also allows property owners who are not currently within the state to take advantage of this online amnesty window to either regularize or get a fresh approval for their building and other forms of property development. Application process for this amnesty period will start across the 33 local government of the state today. Across the 33 local government of the state today. At the end of this exercise, an amnesty certificate will be issued to all who took advantage of this opportunity. In the same vein, we therefore plead with members of the public and our directors of zonal planning authorities to strictly adhere to the principle of granting building permits in the state. The following categories of building will not be granted approval under this scheme. 1, properties illegally occupying government acquisition zones. The buildings and properties within the circular road or circular road corridor are not going to be approved. 3rd, property directly under power lines, we should know that constitutes danger. So if you have your building under power line, it's not going to be approved. Properties within disallowed proximity to dam, stream of water, which we know will endanger the lives and property of such owners, are not going to be considered at all. So property built on road are not going to be approved. Properties within the pipeline setback are not going to be approved. And the property under courts or financial crime matters are not going to be approved.
A consultative forum by indigents and leadership of Badagri on how to ensure human capacity and infrastructure development of the town is taking place in Lagos. The meeting convened at the instance of the federal legislator representing the constituency, Honorable Sesi Wengan, afforded the people to raise their concern about vital issues bordering on their well-being economically and otherwise. Our correspondent Chris Ellims reports.
It's a quiet day on the street of Badagri, Lagos, but a significant one for the people who have gathered to chart a way forward for themselves.
One of the most important potential we have in Badagri is human resources.
For a while, they feel the region is lagged in human and infrastructure development and therefore find this forum very important.
Thank you very much.
The keynote address towards a better Badagri is delivered by Professor Henry Hunjo of the Lagos State University. It highlights Badagri, expectations, achievements, and challenges.
We have infrastructural deficit, especially electricity. Sitting in this hall alone, we have had many moments of power outage, with the fear that will this program hold without electricity interruption? Just imagine industries that have to be on electricity constantly for many hours, for many years, non-stop, sited in Badagri. It means we must have constant electricity. Am I correct? That is a problem.
To chart a prosperous future for Badagri, certain topics must be addressed, including marginalization, according to these panelists.
First of all, looking at the panel, I see that I'm the only female here. And that's one of the problems Badagri has too. You have to start giving women a chance.
Then I want to talk about Ondo Road. When you are coming from Benin, when you are entering Nigeria, you will be coming from a smooth road. Once you just enter the bad road, you know you are in Nigeria. That's a very bad one.
But the member of the Federal House of Representatives is optimistic that the future of Badagri is bright if the potential is properly harnessed, including the offerings of the tech space.
If you train 1,000 people in this constituency, 1,000 people, if we push them into that sector, there is no way, even nothing less than 10% of them would make sway in that particular sector. So let us deliberately push ourselves there, and that is what we want to achieve. I believe that over the years we will be able to achieve that.
Scholarships and special recognitions are accorded a few individuals and to those who have contributed to their communities, with other plans still in place for even the women.
I want to try and infuse some few funds into the businesses of our women.
The people have heard from their representatives, taken note, and have made their demands. They now look forward to more impact from government in order to transform this tourism haven. Chris Ellims, Channels Television News.
Finally, the Young Progressives Party in Ondo State has called for the support of the people of Ondo in its bid to provide quality and visionary political leadership. The candidate of the party in the November 16th governorship election, John Akimurele, stated this in an interview in Akure, the state capital. He lamented the poor quality of political leadership in Nigeria, in his view, and Ondo State, insisting that the YPP will be a better alternative to the parties that have been at the helm of affairs since the beginning of this political dispensation. He also called on the eligible voters in Ondo State, especially the youth, to vote for him in the governorship election.
Democracy has given us this ability, this legitimate way to change leadership every 4 years. And that is why I say the best approach now is what we call ballot revolution. Let all of us go to the ballot and vote for YPP. Let us vote away PDP, APC, or whoever, because we have convinced the people that we are the best alternative. We have convinced the people by our courage, uncommon courage. They are the demagogue, uncommon courage to confront the institution of wickedness. If you are not so sincere, you cannot do what we are doing. If you are not courageous, you cannot do what we are doing. We are courageous and we believe in what we want to do. We love the people. The love of the people is what is driving us. The love to rescue this state is our driving force. And I want to appeal to you, press. Join us in this rescue, the fourth estate of the realm. Join us. What we are doing is just and equitable. It is what is needed to rescue this generation. I believe none of you is happy with the present state of things in this country, especially in Ondo State.
And that's it on Newsroom series today. Thank you for watching. I'm Olumide McCall.